What is the law of karma? Understanding it correctly. Hello everyone, I'm Pulkit Mathur, founder of The Spiritual Bee, a blog on Vedantic spirituality, and you're watching the first of a series of videos that I'm launching on the topic of karma. Now, most of us unfortunately possess an extremely vague and improper understanding of karma. And because of this, we end up harboring all sorts of odd misconceptions about this great law in our minds. So in this and the subsequent set of videos, I shall attempt to lay before you a clear, correct and precise understanding of what the law of karma really is all about as explained by the sages of Vedanta philosophy. Now, Vedanta philosophy, for those who are not familiar, is a collection of truths about the nature of the universe that have been witnessed by the sages, not just ancient but also modern, in the advanced states of meditative superconsciousness. These truths about the nature of our universe are found chronicled in the Vedas, the holy books of Hinduism, with the oldest Veda dating to around 4500 BC. And it is this philosophy of Vedanta which is the original source of the theory of karma. Now, before we dive into the details surrounding the law of karma, there is one crucial fact we must first familiarize ourselves with. And this fact is that even though we write the word karma as K-A-R-M-A in English, the original Sanskrit word behind it is karm, K-A-R-M. When this Sanskrit word karm is transliterated into English, where transliteration is a linguistic process whereby the alphabets in one language are mapped onto the alphabets in another language, then the word karm gets transformed into karma. It is because of the process of transliteration that both the pronunciation and the literal spelling of the original Sanskrit word become distorted and changed when written in English. This linguistic process extends to other Sanskrit words as well. For example, the Sanskrit word yog becomes yoga in English, the word Vedant becomes Vedanta, and the word Krishna becomes Krishna. So this is one critical point that I wanted to highlight, especially for those who are multilingual, who read Sanskrit, Hindi and English books and often get confused because in Hindi and Sanskrit we see the word karm, whereas in English we see the word karma. Alright, so now that we have clarified this little fact, we can begin our journey. Now, in order to reach our destination of fully understanding what the law of karma is all about, we will need to first tunnel through and understand what exactly is meant by this term karma. And the answer to this question has been provided by the great Vedantic sage Swami Vivekananda, who has explained that the word karma is derived from the Sanskrit root kri, meaning to do or to act, and so all action is karma. Now, upon hearing this definition, some of us might jump to the hasty conclusion that this word action here is referring to certain commonly perceived good and bad actions such as assisting the poor, helping an old lady cross the street, or committing a robbery or murder. These actions no doubt constitute karma, but they are only part of the picture. As Swami Abhedananda, who was a brother disciple of Swami Vivekananda, has further elaborated, the word karma applies not just to these outer actions, but it also applies to our inner actions, meaning those which we perform with our mind, as well as those actions which we perform with our 5 sensory organs of eyes, ears, nose, mouth and hands. In fact, any action performed through the body, mind and senses is called karma. Thus, our thoughts and feelings constitute karma. When we harbor good thoughts and good feelings of love, empathy and kindness, then we are doing positive actions or positive karma. Whereas when we indulge in negative thoughts, in activities of untruth and deceit, or nurture feelings of anger, jealousy and hatred towards others, then we are doing negative karma. So all our mental activities constitute karma and will draw in their respective results. Similarly, the activities which we perform with our senses also contribute to our karmic profile. Consider the sense of sight. We may utilize our sight positively, say to read a book and gather knowledge, or we may utilize it negatively, such as when we watch pornography, a habit which, as I have discussed in an earlier blog post, is the root cause of horrific physical and psychological trauma suffered by those who work in the adult industry. So the activities in which we utilize our gift of sight also constitute our karma. Another example is speech. Speech too constitutes karma. When we speak unkind words, when we indulge in backbiting and slander, when we use our speech to propagate lies and hateful ideologies that bring suffering to others, then these actions too become part of our individual karma. Now, besides these mental and sensory activities, karma also includes those mundane bodily activities in which our conscious mind is not involved, such as sleeping, blinking our eyes, etc. Karma thus is all-encompassing. It is not the selective choosing of some actions and neglecting of others, but each and every action that we perform which involves either our body, mind or senses or some combination of these three comprises karma. In fact, as Swami Vivekananda has explained, we are doing karma all the time. I am talking to you, that is karma. You're listening, that is karma. We breathe, that is karma. We walk, karma. It is for this reason that the great Vedantic text, the Bhagavad Gita, has proclaimed that one cannot live even for a moment without performing actions or karma. Okay, so now that we've understood that all our actions signify karma, we can move on to properly understanding the law of karma. So what the spiritual law of karma says is that all these actions that we are continuously performing day and night don't just vanish without a mark. They set into motion reactions which are thrown back at us. Depending upon the nature and complexity of our initial action, the resulting reaction can come either immediately or with a delay, and its intensity will depend upon not just the original action but on an interplay of a variety of other factors such as will, intention and feelings driving the action, efforts at repentance and self-reformation, divine grace, etc. This definition of the law of karma has been outlined in great detail by Sri Aurobindo in his many writings, where he has explained the workings of karmic law as, according to the energy put forth shall be its return, subject to the complicated working of many world forces. Here by forces, Sri Aurobindo is referring to factors like intention, will, etc. that we just listed. So this is the complete and comprehensive definition of the law of karma. Now before we end, there are a few more minor points that we need to make note of about the law of karma. The first is that since our actions set into motion reactions, therefore the law of karma is also known as the law of action and reaction or the law of cause and effect. Secondly, when these reactions are good, people tend to label them as rewards, and when they are bad, they call them punishment. And finally, not only are our actions termed as karma, but so are the ensuing reactions. The same word karma many times is used to describe both the action and its resultant reaction. For example, we may say to a person, if you do good deeds, it will bring you good reactions or good karma. So this in a nutshell is the law of karma. But this of course is a very high level overview. In actuality, karma is a vast topic with many intricate details, all of which cannot be covered in one video. Therefore, in the next video, we shall focus our attention exclusively on one specific area of the law of karma, which is this philosophy of action and reaction, and try to understand this concept in more detail. We will see with the help of easy examples how the law of karma is not a blind eye for an eye type of mechanical law, but it is governed and guided by an underlying divine intelligence. What this divine intelligence is and how it is able to dispense karmic justice by being privy to our innermost thoughts, feelings and intentions, all this we will discover in the next video. Now the next video will be released in a month's time, and I shall post the exact date on the Spiritual Bee website. In fact, going forward for the next few months, I am planning to stick to a monthly posting schedule, as the topic of karma is best explained through videos and they require a significant investment of time as well as research to make and produce. So please consider subscribing, and you can do so here on YouTube itself if you wish to see just my videos alone, or alternatively, and this is what I recommend, you can also subscribe to the blog by visiting www.spiritualbee.com, and that way, in addition to the videos, you will also receive my articles, as I don't always explain Vedanta via the video format. So we shall meet again in the next video. Meanwhile, if you have any questions on karma that you would like to see addressed, feel free to leave them in the comments below or email me via the contact form on the blog. Take care and goodbye.